Hello everybody. I got everything back up, stuffed some more kill mat in the sides there. Um, so the front roof portion is completely done. So the next part I wanted to complete is the swivel seats, which we got two Sportscraft swivel seats. You can find some thin, very thin ones. I think these are pretty thin. If you can see here, it's only about 1.5 inches or so. You can find thinner, but they're of lower quality as far as structural is concerned, and they are not crash test certified. The European standard is called TUV, T-U-V, TUV certified. So I wanted to make sure that our swivel seats could handle a crash. And apparently the other ones that are even more expensive than these, that are thinner, they have the appeal that they're, obviously more low profile and thinner, but they're not certified for a crash test. And apparently they're very flimsy, and you can't even sit on them when you turn them. These are a little bit different. You can sit on them when you turn them. These are installed in a lot of the motorhomes. The big brand motorhome companies use this particular product made by Sportscraft. Passenger side is $287. The driver side is $317 on eBay. The reason why it's more expensive on the driver side is because it includes the emergency brake lowering kit. It's a bracket that allows you to lower it. I don't know how many inches. We're going to find out, but it allows the seat to go above the clearance that it needs to turn and not hit the e-brake. So we're going to be getting into that shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. The seat removal is very easy. There is a plug in the very front underneath the seat, just with one screw, and that is the seatbelt sensor and the airbag sensor. For when somebody is sitting on the seat, it knows to deploy or not deploy the airbag if there's a passenger present. There's only 4 screws to remove the seat. Very simple. I believe it was a 10 millimeter. You have to undo that plug or the seat won't remove, and then you have the seat belt that remains attached. It's actually attached to the seat, and you can probably remove it, but I thought it would be best just to leave it alone and move it right behind where it sits, so I can complete the job. Apparently it's only a couple bolts to get this thing on, but I'll let you know in the next video when it's all installed. Alright, well, I saw another video about this where they said that the holes don't line up exactly and you have to drill out the holes. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case. Let me see if I can get a light in there for you. Doesn't line up. I don't know if you can really see it, but it doesn't line up. Also, I don't know what this little bar is here, but it's definitely in the way, and I'm going to have to break that off, which is not a big deal, but that's what has to be done. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I don't really have it in me tonight to do this. So I don't know if you have to drill out all 4 holes or if only 2, because the other 2 line up. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know tomorrow. One more video. This wiring is supposed to go through that hole. This big thing through that small hole there. I don't know. Maybe I can take these wires out and take pictures, and there's a lot of the same color. There appears to be 2 gray, and I don't know if you've seen my other videos where the wiring loom in the back had the same exact color combination for several wires. It's kind of similar here. I don't know if they're grounds or what, but anyway, I'd like to put them back in the exact same place. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to take these wires out, put them through that hole after I drill the holes out, of course, because I can't do it now. A little bit more of an annoyance than I had anticipated. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so I did have to drill out there's 6 holes, and it's going to work now. The last thing I need to do is to take the wires out of these terminals so I can fit it through that hole right there. So let me give you a tip here. You use a pair of needle nose pliers, pull the red tab off, which is very easy. Take a very tiny flathead screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see 1 and 2 there. The yellow one. Yellow one right there. If you put a little flathead screwdriver in that hole, push down the plastic tab, and it pops right out. I haven't pulled it out yet. Make sure you take lots of photos. There are a couple of wires that are the same, so I suggest that you put a little Sharpie or notation on it or something so you know where to put it. Now, the wires, if you do it quick enough, the wires are going to kind of go back to where it originated from, so it's going to kind of already be in the right place. But take a video of the entire connector and take pictures all the way around so you don't get confused, because I think it would be a nightmare to figure out which wire goes where if you mess it up later. Alright, hope this is helpful. I'll give you another update. Helpful tip. These little things have numbers on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just mark that. The amount, obviously you can't write a number 8 unless you have superpowers. But I just marked, if you can see that, with a Sharpie, 8 little lines, 7 little lines, 6 little lines. So that's how I'm going to figure out putting it back. Makes it really easy. Here's a tip. This one's power. Guess how I found out? Make sure you tape it off. See you in the next video. Hey there. Okay, so I've got it completely installed. This is the next day. I got tired. In our particular Transit, we had this bar that was sticking up. I have no idea the purpose of this bar, but it seemed pretty useless to me. Cut it out with a pair of bolt pliers or bolt cutters. Remember, you have to drill out all 6 holes if you're going to use this particular swivel seat. I had to bore out all 6 holes with a 1/2 inch drill bit. I'm going to put a little rubber cap over there because it is not very attractive, so I'm going to put something over it to make it look nice. Something else that I had an issue with is that this cable coming up, obviously when you move the seat up and forward and back and turn it around and all this stuff, it wants to pull this wire out, of course, because it needs more slack. And I found that it bends this down because there was enough slack, so I had to come under here. And where's the wire? It's that one that's coming down. I had to unzip tie it over there. There was 2 zip ties, so I had to cut the 2 zip ties so it give it more slack. So that seemed to fix the problem. Seat works great. It's very sturdy. A bit more pain than I thought it was going to be because of how the Transit is, or how the seat of the Transit is. I'm going to go ahead and tackle the driver's seat now, which I do believe is going to be more complicated. And then the lowering bracket for the e-brake. Okay. Same process as before. 4 bolts, plus there's these little Allen bolts. I'm not really sure what they're there for, but they're not used, so you take those out as well. You have to undo this plug, same as the other seat. Just comes right off with the socket wrench. Now I'm starting to look at this e-brake, and the two plastic pieces that come off look like this. They just pull right out. There's not much anything to it. I'm actually really surprised how easily it came out. It was a little too easy. I just kind of I pulled up with one finger and it just popped right out like it was nothing. I feel like later if you kick it on accident or something, it's going to pop off. That's how easy it was. Now I'm looking at what I need to do for that bracket, which I'll show you in the next video. Alright, so getting to this point is very easy. The plastic above the batteries comes out with a couple clips. You'll see this is the part that I found is going to be the most troubling. That bolt right there is welded. I looked it up online to confirm that I'm not crazy, but it is welded on. It's tack welded in 2 or 3 spots, it looks like. Most people angle grind it out, but I have a lot of experience with angle grinding, and those little metal pieces are hard to vacuum up, and they also can rust, and then they get stuck on plastic or paint or whatever. It's just a pain. So I'm going to try to chisel it off and see how that goes. I hit hammer and I hammered the chisel a couple times, and it seemed to be pretty receptive of it. You can see it's already got quite a ding in it from me hammering it just a couple times. So I'm just going to try to hammer this thing out. Okay, so this is extremely hard. I did get that one bolt off. I'm going to have to pry it off of here because there cannot be a bolt there for the other bolts that I have to attach to this plate. So once I chiseled that off, the bolt came right out through here. I had to pull this plastic piece back, and then there's another bolt right here, and the nut is right there, which I already got off. It takes 2 people to do that. And then there's another one way down in there somewhere. If I can show you. Oh, it's down there. Way down there. So I'm going to pull the plastic off. This is not easy. The only other option is, and I've seen a bunch of other people do it, is to take all of this out. I'm not willing to waste an entire day taking all of this out just to take 3 bolts out. So I'm going to get it. It might take me 10 or 15 minutes, but I'll get that bolt out. And I'll make another video.
And that's that.
And that's that, she says. Okay, so it was really difficult. It took 2 people and wedged a hammer down in there to move the plastic over. It was a lot of time. It took about 20 minutes or so to get the bolt off. Got it off. Saved a whole day of removing this stuff. Then this is underneath the e-brake, which you'll have to remove with 4 screws or 4 bolts. That was very easy. But then, because the brake line goes through this hole, I had to cut this with a pair of bolt cutters. It was very easy. It's very thin, so I just wiggled it back and forth until it broke. And now I'm going to put on the adapter that came with the kit. I do believe that that wire has to go through that hole, so I'll have to unhook this, and there's another one wherever that goes, and put it through the hole. Okay, so how it works is this adapter goes like this, but the problem is that these, I remember this one, on the outside there's a nut still welded on there. I have to pry off, but these 2 bolts, I think we have to get rid of them because these have to go in because they sit flush on the outside here, so there can't be a bolt coming through unless I were to drill a hole in here, which I'm not willing to do. So I have to take these off, put these on with the nuts that it comes with. Then it fits on these two welded screws and this one, and then you just use a nut to fasten it, and that's that. But got to take these off. This has been real fun. Okay, so I do believe that these bolts are, I don't know if they're welded or if there's some sort of a I forgot what it's called. The name escapes me, but anyway, I tried to do everything I can to get them off without causing a real mess, so I'm going to go to the store and see what kind of options there are. I know angle grinding them off will work fine, but I don't like metal shavings, and it's just a total pain to angle grind. So I'm going to see if there's something I can use to break it off, or I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an update. These that are either welded or I don't really know, but they hammer out pretty easily. You just lay it down, protect your floor, hammer at it a couple times, it'll pop out. I imagine this one will be a little bit harder because, well, it's going this way and there's nothing really to stop it from going down, so it's going to be a little bit harder, but that's okay. As far as this, I tried blowtorching it. I don't know if that helped at all, but I ended up just hacksawing the side where the weld is there, and then I pulled it off with some vice grips. See you in the next one. Okay, so if you have my setup, you're going to take this wire, which is long enough, I've measured, and you are going to go and take it through this path here between the batteries. Okay, fits nicely in here. And then you're going to come up through the plastic. Make sure to measure right here. You can use a hole saw. I'm going to measure through this, which holds the plastic down secure. Then I'm going to use one of these to protect the wires. Not sure. It's going to be very thin on the corners here. I may not want to drill it this big. I'm not sure. But anyway, you get the idea. I've just bored out the holes there. The 6 holes, again, with a 1/2 inch drill bit. I've got those poles, those rails, which I showed you in the last video. I drilled the pilot holes for. They're in the back now. I'm just I'm using some black Rust-Oleum 15-minute dry, so I'm on my second coat now, and hopefully it's going to fit nicely on there with no problems. Yeah, right. Hello again. We've run across a problem. Our particular Ford Transit 2020 comes with 2 batteries underneath, which has a plastic container or a box underneath. By removing the plastic container, it really doesn't save much room. If you remove the cap, it will save about 1/4 of an inch, maybe. But I'd really rather the batteries be protected in a plastic container for obvious reasons. So, I can't recommend you to do what I'm doing. So don't blame me for any problems, but what I have decided to do is go to Lowe's and get some, I'm not really sure what these are called exactly, but these metal squares, steel, and drill out the hole pattern, which I just drilled some pilot holes there. I'm going to drill those bigger, obviously, and I'm going to put them right on top of there, and then I'm going to put the swivel seat on top of that, and it will raise it up 1 inch, and that will fix the problem that we're having. So, see you in the next video. Alright, so this is what the poles look like, all painted. Oh. With the half-inch hole. Half-inch holes. Drilled with the hole saw. Put a rubber, I don't know what this is, rubber grommet or something. I took the wires off with the a very tiny flathead screwdriver, pushing down the little pins like I explained in the other video. Those little pins right here. Let's see if I can show you. Pushing down while pulling out, just like the other video. I've numbered them all so that I can know which one to put them in, and this is my numbering system for 12, making a really big bar and then 2 small ones, so because making that many lines is difficult. There's 11. And now I'm going to go through that hole just like the other one, and hopefully that's going to be high enough. I think it is. And I'm going to tighten the seat down. I'll show you in the next video. Okay, so success. I haven't bolted it down yet, but it all fits. Let's see if I can show you the rail. There's the rail there from Lowe's. $12 a piece. Had to cut them, obviously. You will need longer fasteners because the ones that come with this kit are not long enough, and the ones that come OEM with the van are not long enough because the metal bars are an inch higher. So anyway, you can get these at AutoZone. Unfortunately, they don't have them in the spot where you just get the fasteners. I got these out of a kit. It was an exhaust manifold kit they had in the back. Just happened to catch my eye and they were the right size. So an exhaust manifold kit. It was really expensive actually, but I didn't feel like waiting on an Amazon order. So go ahead and just order these on Amazon or eBay. I'll show you in the next video with it all done and bolted and with the seat installed. Hello friends, we have the swivels completely done. I hope my instructions were helpful to you. We just rotated it back and forth a couple times just to make sure. It's a little complicated. You can do it with the doors closed. It just takes a little bit of wiggling, so I'm going to just go ahead and show you real quick. I've only done this twice, and I'm sure that we will get better at doing it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the process here. The steering wheel is sort of in the way, so you have to bring the seat forward. Then the front console is in the way on this particular Transit, so we'll have to go back and then turn, and then we have to go up a little bit, turn some more. There you go. The passenger seat is a little bit easier to do because there's no steering wheel in the way. But that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful, and I can answer any questions that you have in the comments below. Or you can message us on Instagram if you have any questions on going boundless. Thank you.